We're going to go and talk to Baron Corbin, and we're going to talk to Emma. Emma has a problem with the Divas Championship, don't we all? And she's going to tell you what that is. And also Baron Corbin is here to tell you why he's the real deal and what he plans to do in the future in NXT. I'm in Blackpool, England. You can see the lovely weather behind me. It is crap. I was going to get an ice cream, but unfortunately, as you can see behind me, everything is closed. It is December, there's nothing open, so there's nothing really else to do. So without further ado, let's get to the interviews. I'm kind of interested to talk to you about something because I was in San Jose, the NXT show in March, the match back then. What was interesting to me about that time was the crowd response to you was so kind of, you know, it was different from whatever section we were sitting in that night. And then seeing you in Glasgow 2 nights ago, where the persona you've got now, you know, you're embracing it and people are really responding to it. Can you talk a little bit about the evolution of your character and NXT and how that's been for you?
You know, the San Jose show definitely was the first time that I'd kind of gotten that reaction of, you know, some boos and whatnot, and you know, for some reason it kind of made me happy. So I don't know what it was, but you know, going against the grain to me is a lot of fun. So, you know, my character's evolved and is becoming more and more outspoken, and I'm getting to say things that I feel, and you know, I'm given more opportunities to say those things. So for me, just allowing me to continue to grow and show people who I am is allowing my character to evolve, because a lot of things I say are true and they are how I feel. And you know, people don't always like that. So like you saw the other night, you know, the much more of the majority, you know, is on the side of booing me and, you know, yelling at me, and I just feed off that. I love that, and you know, it makes me enjoy what I'm doing a lot more when I can smile and look out in the crowd and see people giving me the finger, yelling at me, and you know, all those things. So you know, I just want to pour it on as much as I can, and you know, make them hate me as much as I can by being who I am and being myself, and it's easy for me. So.
And do you think the Breaking Ground show on the WWE Network, which was a big success, lots of people are really enjoying it, that kind of documentary style programming, and you're featured on that, I noticed a lot of people talking about you to me after that show, going to see Baron Corbin on it, blah blah. It really feels that that show is helping your character as well, because people are getting a chance to follow you a little bit.
Yeah, it is. You know, like I said, you know, my character is who I am. It is, you know, outspoken, brash. I don't care what people think or how they feel, and I'm going to say what I want and do what I want. And you can kind of see that on Breaking Ground. You can kind of see, you know, just little glimpses of me and my attitude, and you know, some people don't like it, or things I say when I'm sitting and explaining, you know, something, and you know, how I carry myself and present myself, and that show allows people to see it, but it also allows them a little bit into my world. You know, you got to see on the other episode going into the oddity stores and, you know, buying stuff I like, you know, that kind of stuff, the live music in Austin, going to the live show, and you know, you saw in the show someone hanging on me and they spilled a drink on me, and you know, being a professional and who I am, I can't react to those things, and but you can see that the attitude's there, and so I can take that attitude and put it into what I do in the ring. And you know, a lot of people though, even though you see my attitude on there, they feel like they connect to me more now. They understand why I am the way I am, and it doesn't make them like me, but they understand it. So it's a good thing, and it's been a great show for me, and you know, I've enjoyed watching it because I didn't really know how it would go. So.
And Emma, it's a joy to see you today. And if we were sitting here a year ago, we might have been dancing together.
Oh, well, that's definitely back in the day. That's in the past.
That's in the past.
Yes.
We sadly can't dance together today. But what we can do is your journey is really interesting to look at, because you were in NXT, you were starting the Divas Revolution right at the beginning.
Thank you. Someone acknowledged it. Jeez.
And then you went up to the main roster, you did some stuff with Santino, and you came back to NXT. And I thought what was really interesting about you coming back to NXT was you didn't come back to NXT and do the exact same thing you've done before. Totally reinvented the character, went a different direction. Can you talk a little bit about that process and how important that was for you to actually change things up and do something different?
Yeah, well, like as you said, I was teaming with Santino, and it was definitely the innocent side of Emma and the comedic side. and that kind of transitioned a little bit different from what I was doing in NXT. I was obviously dancing and doing all that, but I was still wrestling, And the more I got into things with Santino, the more I realized I was getting away from where I came from. And just like the wrestling business, how it goes, it doesn't always work out how you planned. And for me, that was what set me off, is I need to change something. And sometimes you need to make big changes to get attention, and that's what I needed to do, just to remind people where I came from and what I'm capable of. If everyone thought I was a joke, I had to change that and do a 360 or a 180. Why'd you say 360?
I don't know. I guess I'm just not good at math.
Just do the complete opposite, and then show them, the things that they don't realize about me is I've been wrestling half my life, and I had a similar upbringing in the wrestling business to Paige, and although I didn't have my family in the business like Charlotte and Paige, I did it all by myself. So these are things no one knows about me. So I'm here to show, I can wrestle, I can kick ass, and I'm going to, and sometimes it just takes a little reminder for people to realize that about you.
And let's talk a little bit about being the evil Emma. Do you enjoy that kind of side of your character now?
I enjoy evil Emma. I'm actually a very kind of cold, sarcastic sense of humor in real life. Sometimes people, I could be completely joking and people might walk away thinking I hate them, and but I was just a joke. It's just keep that straight face, and that's just my kind of sense of humor. It's very dry, and I think that all translates to how I am in the ring. I enjoy kind of, staring someone down and letting them mess around and saying, okay, and just bring that over here and see what happens. So it's definitely, I think it definitely stemmed from the old character as well, and the frustration and the build-up of what I wasn't having and the opportunities that I was never getting and everyone else was, and that's what you get at the end of the day.
And Baron, back to you, I wanted to ask you about this year. You got the opportunity to work with guys like Rhino, Samoa Joe. You were talking earlier that you've come into the business maybe a different way from the way other people did. And you got to work with these veteran guys. How important was that to you? And how was that experience getting to kind of, I guess, sort of be on your A game, always be kind of keeping up with them and sort of?
Yeah, getting to get in the ring with guys like Rhino and Samoa Joe, and I got to work Tommy Dreamer in Philadelphia. These guys have been doing it a long time, and they are very good at what they do, and that's why they have created a name for themselves. And getting the opportunity to be in the ring with those guys, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself and what I need to do to get to the next level. These guys have their veteran tricks and their things they've developed over years and years and years, and I've kind of had to develop very quickly. I've been doing this for 3 years, and to go in the ring and beat a guy like Rhino who's been doing it for 15, I have to be on my A game all the time. I slipped up against Samoa Joe, and he got the win, and someday I'm going to have my redemption with that. But being out there with guys like that is a really cool experience, first of all, because they've been on some of the biggest stages in the wrestling world, and they've been all over the world performing and beating guys with big names. And so for me to go out and put one of those guys down, does a lot for me and my confidence, and it shows me that I'm here for the right reasons. So, I enjoy those battles, and they're physical guys. I'm a physical person myself. Coming from the NFL, that's a sport of physical dominance. My job as an offensive lineman was to physically beat the person in front of me for 60 minutes. And it's no different with guys like Samoa Joe, Rhino. They're big, solid, physical men, and it was a war, and I loved every second of it, and it just fuels my fire to be the best that I can be in the WWE and NXT. So, the things I learned, you can't learn in a practice, or you can't learn watching film. You have to learn it, in the field of battle. And I took away a lot of stuff from every one of those guys, and it's going to benefit me in the next 10, 15 years that I'm doing this.
And Emma, this coming Wednesday, you're going to be in London with Asuka, and it's really interesting. NXT's got these women coming in, and with yourself, getting a chance to, because some people would have said when some of the women like Charlotte and Sasha went up to the main roster, well, the NXT Women's Division, what's going to happen to that? And that's got to be frustrating for somebody like you who's saying, well, I'm here and I'm going to make sure it's better than it was before. You're going to jump to do that. With somebody like Asuka, who's got such a different style coming in, is that something you kind of thrive on? Like, you get to have matches with someone like that?
Totally. I watch her closely, and people, like Baron said, like to say all kinds of things on the internet, and Emma's Asuka's gonna kill you, and they haven't done their homework, and it's like, come on, if you think I don't know what I'm getting into or I haven't got a plan, then that's the joke itself. So I, as well, have my submissions just like Asuka does. I have wrestled half of my life, like I said, and since she's started at NXT, she's been on a winning streak, but I have as well. And I don't know if that's something people have realized, but when she started, she took on Dana, and obviously Dana is still fairly new at all this, and Asuka didn't realize what she was getting herself into by coming across the pair of us, and now obviously with the two of us, she's under a little bit of trouble. So basically, I think Asuka and all of the fans are going to realize that if anyone can give her a run for her money, it's going to be me.
Guys, last question to Emma, to Baron, if you don't mind.
I've got a joint question actually. There's a lot of stuff, people are quite buzzed about WrestleMania 32, Dallas, Texas. Triple H just announced there's going to be a takeover that weekend. To both of you, in your ideal situation, who would you be going up against that weekend?
Well, for me, it would be the NXT Championship, Women's Championship. And for me, a Women's Championship has a lot more meaning than the Divas Championship, because I came from that wrestling background, and that's what I love to do. And that's what we should be known as female wrestlers and women in this business. And if Bayley is the champion, then it would be Bayley versus Emma going into that.
For me, going into Dallas, my dream match for this takeover would be Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. I would love a triple threat. Sami Zayn comes back and he is a hero of the independent world. He's a hero for so many people who want to do something great. Sami's done it, and he's overcome a lot of odds, and he's making this big return, and he's the face of NXT. I think that he is the catalyst that helped bring NXT to the level it's at. He was the first guy to do it, and a lot of people love him. And then you have Finn Balor. This guy's world class. He's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable NXT champion. He's wrestled on the biggest stages in Japan, and he's created this demon that he brings with him, and it's a whole nother level. So not only do you have the Finn Balor that you see week in and week out on NXT TV, who's dominating people, now you have the demon. So I want to take those two heroes, those two people that everyone loves and loves to support and buys their t-shirts, and I want to bury them both right in the middle of the ring, and I want to walk away as NXT Championship. So that for me, I want to kill two birds with one stone and show people, I don't care what they want to happen, it's about me, and I'm here for me, and I'm going to get mine.